everybody. I am so excited about our sponsor for this month, the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. It's the Gillette Home Team and Laura Gillette. How are you doing, Laura?
I'm doing wonderful.
That is so awesome. You know, the Gillette Home Team is doing so much in real estate. Give us a snapshot of what you're up to.
Awesome. Well, last year we were able to help 551 families either buy or sell real estate. We love our community. We love our clients. Our mission is to deliver the keys to home ownership through stellar customer service, integrity, and joy. And we're looking to help even more folks this year.
That is so awesome. You know, if you want a team that is there for you, it's the Gillette Home Team and Laura Gillette. And thanks so much, Laura, for your sponsorship.
Hey.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? We are here with The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. Look at that. Woo, woo.
Every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific time. We're here. We've got fabulous guests every week, but you were gone this weekend.
I was in sunny Pasadena, California, and I brought the sun back here to Oregon because it is nice and sunny here today. You're so welcome. Yes, and I talked to Reggie, and he is thinking it's beautiful where he's at, and I'm guessing Veronica, where she lives in Texas, it's got to be nice there too. So we're all enjoying nice weather. She's giving me the head bop, so that's got to be good.
There we go. It's going to be, Well, and because you were gone, I got to sit in and be a guest host on your podcast, which you broadcast every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific. And that is Marketing with Russ, aka Russ Selfie. And I had a great time. That was a lot of fun. I got to interview a friend and partner, Travis Perry, the founder and inventor of Cord Buddy. We just had a great time. But time always goes too fast, just like with the Experience.
Yeah, you did such an awesome job, and you're such a blessing to me, and I appreciate that so much. So thank you for doing that. It was great. It was kind of fun to watch and actually not have to do it and just get to see you do all the work. So it was fun.
Thank you. It was a blast.
Hey, speaking of blessings, you know, we are so blessed to have Laura Gillette and the Gillette Home Team as our sponsor for the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. And, you know, Keller Williams, that the Gillette team is part of, does what they call a Red Day every year. And it's such a way to bless the community and do community service. They do that together. All their brokers and employees come together and work for a cause. And this year, it's interesting because there is a young lady that has got lymphoma that has had a wish to have a tree house in her backyard. Her name is Riley Roth, and she lives in the Lebanon area. So they're coming together. I'm actually going to be doing a live broadcast from that tomorrow, which I'll get more information out on. But it is just such a blessing what they're able to do, and the funds that they've been able to bring together to help her, help with the costs of all of this treatment. And it's such a huge thing to have to deal with personally, but then to have the support of someone in your community and of your community. So the Gillette Home Team has spirited that and has just spearheaded this building of the treehouse. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them because they are such a blessing to you and I, Scott, and Laura especially.
Indeed. Yeah. How wonderful. And just, they already support the community, but to do something tangible like this, that's above and beyond, it really does go with that sign that we see in Laura's desk about going the extra mile. So
exactly, that's what they're all about, and that's what I love about them. So anyway, just wanted to again shout out to Laura and the Gillette Home Team, and more information to follow. So, but enough about us today and other things. We're going to bring in
the fun part.
Yes. We're going to bring in our guest today. You know, we have Reggie Waterman and Veronica Lee Jeans, and we're going to bring Reggie in first. But they are both such wonderful people, and I've been blessed to get to know both of them. I call them friends, and I'm so thankful. So, Reggie, come on in. How's it going, Reggie?
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
We are good, good, good. And I'm so thankful with all that you're doing, Reggie. I know you work a regular day job, and then you were just all over social media and LinkedIn and doing great stuff. So thank you for taking time to be with us today.
No worries. Thank you for having me. This is awesome. I can't wait for the experience. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Well, life is an experience, and that's what we're all about. And we want to hear a little bit more about your experience and all that you're doing. So for those people that don't know Reggie, tell us all about you.
Well, like you mentioned, Russ, I work 9 to 5 at a software company called 360 Insights, and I'm the director of marketing there, taking care of the entire content strategy from blogs, ebooks, white papers to podcasts. Outside of that, I also facilitate a series of workshops with colleges and universities. I actually did one last night. It's a 6-week series called Designing Your X Factor. And this is where I give students tips and tricks on how to succeed post-graduation, pretty much giving them everything that's not found in your average textbook, like how to deal with a challenging boss, how to network effectively, how to deal with politics, and so forth. I think these are the critical tools and skills that we need to instill in our students, because in school, I've been to school as well, and coming out, transitioning into the real world was challenging. I used to think, oh my God, like I didn't really learn all the stuff that I needed from school to apply to my day job. So there's that. I'm also a host of a series of different live streams, one being Discover Your Other Self, another one being Cooking with Class. I have a virtual book club that happens once a month. So yeah, I'm just constantly on the go.
That's great. I love that you talked about the politics. I remember when I first got into the workforce, and you're right, there are a lot of skills that are missing in the curriculum. And obviously, universities, colleges, everyone, there's a lot more to do than they have time to fit in. Politics, though, was one that was really interesting. We had a mentor. I had a mentor when I first got into the workforce who said, Scott, if you remember, or you think of the word politics, if you think of the root of that word as being polite, he said, you've mastered everything you need to know about office politics.
That's absolutely right. And it's funny that you say that, Scott, because I always tell the students, I have like the Switzerland flag on one of the slides. And I'm like, in politics, be like Switzerland, just be neutral and just be kind. So it's funny that you mentioned
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting, Reggie. One thing that you said that really resonates with me is giving them skills, because they don't always learn all that in school and real life stuff. And you and I have talked about that. I think that is a key today, people that can really help with that transition. And I think you're doing incredible work there.
No, appreciate it. Thank you. And the students appreciate it too. Like some feedback I got last night, as well as from the previous workshops that I've done, is that, man, this was so inspirational. You're teaching me something that totally different from the norm. And I guess my ability to connect with the students on a different level where, I'm just not like a talking head. I'm just, leveraging my experiences in hopes that they can, grasp some inspiration from that and apply it to their lives.
And I think when you work with students like this, you can't help but be inspired, I'm thinking, and then I don't know how long you've been working with students, but when they come back or you hear what they've done and you can see your influence on them, I'd love to hear kind of your experience there as well.
Well, that's a great point and question, Scott. That's exactly what I love most about it. When I think about the future leaders of tomorrow, and this is who I'm actually talking to and trying to educate, I'm not only investing time, but I'm harvesting in these future leaders. What I mean by harvesting, if I think about the life cycle of just life, you go to school, you graduate, you then transition to the real world, you have family, kids, all these other things, right, that come into the mix. So I want to be able to carry that forward and be able to maintain a relationship with them so that it continues to build a cycle. So that once they transition to the real world, they've gone through this program, they'll remember me and everything that I've taught them, and then be able to pay it back, right? And being able to maintain that relationship with them and engage in an engaging way is so that I could see the success that they've made. right? So that's pretty much how the cycle continues or goes.
Well, I am all about connection, Reggie. And I think that is such a huge thing, is connecting and staying connected, right, to them, which I think is so great. And you do such an awesome job with that. Now, outside of all that great work you're doing, man, you're doing videos and all kinds of live streaming online. Tell us just a snapshot about that.
Yeah, so there's 3. So Discover Yourself, as I mentioned earlier, is a platform where actually we're on season. We just finished season 3 last month, and going to be season 4. Season 4 will be coming up in September. But the platform is about talking to the audience about life struggles and how to overcome it. So what I do is I bring on guests week over week, and we just don't like to talk about like the fluffy stuff. I want to get deep in terms of what did you really struggle with in life? How did you overcome? What did you learn about yourself, right, throughout that process? And then how did you turn the tides? Those stories are what's going to provide the audience with inspiration and let the audience know, especially for that one particular person or people or sets of people, that they're not alone. Other successful people that have made it, have fallen on their face, or went through heartbreaks, just flatlined, but then have been able to revive themselves in a way that they can make it throughout any sort of life's challenge. So there's that, and then there's the virtual book club, where actually this Monday we have our installment of the virtual book club, and that's to promote and elevate authors. I'm actually writing a book based on Discover Your Other Self, and I wanted to learn the process of how to write a book, what it means to get a publisher or even just self-publish your book, the marketing behind it as well. So through this journey, I'm like, okay, let me invite some people, authors that have done it, let them promote their books to the audience, find out the inspiration behind why they wrote their book, how it changed their life, so that they could be, putting their masterpiece on display. Because at the end of the day, it's all about servicing others. It's about giving people a platform to cascade their voice. Cooking with Class is a very unique experience. This is the 3rd one. There's a lot going on, Scott and Russ. So the Cooking with Class is a very, very unique experience that combines 3 elements. We got cooking / food, music, and conversation. So obviously in Canada right now,
that's a trifecta right there.
Yeah, trifecta. So imagine it's like bringing that brunch experience virtually, because obviously with the lockdowns of various countries, like we're in lockdown. So I'm like, how do I bring that experience virtually? But the best thing about it is the DJ, he not only plays music, but he cooks at the same time he plays his music. And I just come in for the conversation. So that's what we do there.
That is a fabulous platform.
Yeah.
There is so much going on there. And speaking of a lot going on, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our second guest. Veronica is ready to go. There she is. How you doing, Veronica?
I'm doing absolutely fabulous. You won't believe my challenges this morning. As I don't know if you can see, but I'm on a boat, and
yes.
That's hence my background. But this is what's duct tape, because we're building stuff. And I've got my grandkids on the boat, so they in the salon playing games and getting excited. So I'm in the forward cabin, nicely snug, and I've got it all set up, so I can't move for the next hour.
So Veronica, we've had on the experience, we've had guests from across the country, around the world, but you are absolutely the first guest broadcasting from a boat. So this
exactly
is just,
right.
What kind of an experience is that? That's got to be fabulous. Of course, everyone needs to know, and I want to know, how did you end up on a boat and broadcasting now?
Well, that's a little bit of a long story, but my kids went out of college, and we said, what now, right? And so because we're foreigners in America, and we only had our green card, so no college scholarships, no loans, no anything. We had to pay the colleges cash, and I had 2 of them, right? So for 2 years at the same time. So this was a very, very poor mama. And so seriously. And so, we came out of that. We said, okay, now we have to save, and in America, the companies give you a 401k. They give you money, right? So you put something in and they give you money. This, to me, is incredible. So anyway, we did this, and my husband said, okay, now we have to save. And he came home and said, what about a boat? And I thought, why not? And I've never been on a boat. I have never cruised. I don't know, maybe I did one cruise, but that wasn't a big cruiser, right? So I didn't know whether I was going to get seasick or anything like that. But 8-10 years later, we're still okay.
And you and I have talked from your boat before, because you did marketing with Russ, aka #Russ Selfie. Thank you, both you and Reggie. And but you have a podcast that you do from your boat as well.
Yes.
Now, what's the name of that again?
So I do several again. I'm like Reggie. I've got all over the place. I'm really interested in the book thing, but I do Mondays. Did you know? And it's all about e-commerce and business, since I'm the Shopify queen. And then I do on Wednesdays. I'm going to start up my interviewing interesting people that have to do with e-commerce, shipping guys, my sales tax lady, my QuickBooks lady, my email guy, so I've got all these ladies and guys that I'm going to interview to actually help people to the next step where they can ask questions and everything. And then on Fridays, it's a stop-start thing, but now it's scheduled. I do what's my life on a boat. So so I explain why we moved on a boat and the experience and what we're going to do moving forward, and and all the little things. I'm going to interview people that are servicing my boat, because there are certain things when you're living in a boat or an RV that you have to do. And then, because I've been very fortunate ever since I moved on the boat. I did the marketing for the marina, and with these old guys. Oh, we don't need Facebook, And I go, oh, yes, you do. And they go, oh, no, we don't. Anyway, we did Facebook. A few years later, they went, you know what? Facebook is absolutely amazing, And so I've been doing the marketing, and so we've been living for free in the marina for a few years, and so it's a win-win situation. So, and they actually put in a special internet for the dock. So we live in the River Oaks docks on this side, the bigger boats, and so every dock has its own connection, and that connection goes directly from the router to my boat. So I've got it all. So and then also I'm also going to start cooking on my boat, because it's a challenge, right? I've got this little oven, this little microwave, one little pan, and my daughters-in-law kept saying, hey, you got to tell us how you shop and how you cook, because I cook from scratch, and I can make a 5-course meal here on the boat.
It's
and I love that you do Shopify. So and we'll let Russ talk too. But I want to say Shopify. I'm a big fan, because setting up an e-commerce website can be a real battle. It can cost a lot of money. Shopify has made it really easy. And recently I was reading an article about a person that had set up just an e-commerce site selling some products. Some guy up in Seattle, Jeff somebody or other, I think, whatever his name is. Anyway, he's able to provide, jobs and stuff just because of his e-commerce site.
Yeah. I mean, I've met the most amazing people, because so I've been in e-commerce now for about 11 or so years, and totally by accident, right? Because I wanted to sell something online, and I thought, it's not the easiest thing to decide what you want to sell. And so the shopping cart that I was with before, 3D cart, I'm chatting to the sales guy, and then he said, hey, can you help this little customer? And for 3 years, I had these customers dropping in my lap. It was awesome, right? And so, I mean, so many different customers. One of them was an old guy in Florida who's been in the jewelry industry for years, and he started his own store, only men's rings. Okay, he made $1 million a year, only men's rings. That's actually what Just Men's Rings was, his website, and he sold it. And so, I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, I've worked with so many amazing online store owners, you know, also going from, especially with COVID, right? They were, I've got an online store, but it's like too much effort because I'm so busy with my retail store. And then boom, we were all stuck at home. And so, and they've really done well. I mean, obviously with my help, but I'm going to toot my own horn here, right? But
obviously, with your help, yes, for sure.
Yes, exactly. But it is so easy to, as you said, Shopify, but it's also very, very confusing because they will set something up and I go, "You doing what?" And there's big companies, I mean, they're making millions, and their process is like, really? You're taking the order, you're printing it out, then you're walking across to the warehouse, giving it to the packing guy. I mean, really? It's like so antiquated. But you just have to, because they jump in and they think, oh, this is cool, and then they explode. And they haven't done the right thing by setting up the proper processes. What?
No, I love your hand motions. That's one great thing. You've got Reggie trying to transition young people into all the technology we have going on. Mm-hmm. You, Veronica, trying to transition old people into all the technology.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Yes, exactly. I mean, and they don't. They come in my workshop and they go, "Veronica, this is so confusing, give me a plan. I need step 1, step 2. And then I wrote a book. So I've got my book out on Amazon and actually on my Shopify store. That's where my website is. And I wrote it because I got these same questions over and over again. It's like, okay, people, read the book or do this little course that I set up, and then we can go to the next step, right? Because it is very, setting up a business is confusing, right? I mean, people go, oh, I love this name, right? I want to be called whatever. And I've just talked to one of the ladies, Sassy Design, right? And she's got sassydesign.net. I said, and, I've got another little lady with .net. I said, people think about .com, people. If somebody's going to come into your website, look for you, and they're immediately automatically going to say sassydesigns.com. They're not going to say .net or this is the bad one, right? They will go sassy-design something.net. I mean, seriously? Because they've fallen in love with the name. It's like they've fallen in love with the name so much, they have to have it, right? So they
need simplicity is really what we're looking for.
Exactly.
Speak to that a little bit, Reggie. Do you find that in the process of teaching younger people, it's got to be easier as far as the technology side, but the whole concept of how they connect with people, I think is so critical. And Reggie, you talk about that all the time.
Yeah, I always say, simplify to amplify, right?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, we could make things complex on our own. And Veronica's right. It's like we get so hung up on just the name of certain things and we want to be able to secure it, but we're not looking at it from the customer experience perspective. So now I gotta, write in this URL, but then now I gotta make that extra step by doing the dash and then the dot and then this and then that. Like, come on, let's make life easy for us. And I know. We are in the generation of instant gratification, so we just want to keep going.
Yeah. And the worst part is, okay, so this is what happened as well, experience, right? Somebody chose a name, and I really can't remember who they were. And I always do research. My first thing is when I meet somebody that tell me the domain name, I do some research. And it was a porn site. And I went, no. I mean, but this can happen, right? Because somebody loses the domain name and it gets picked up and somebody else puts something in that domain, or you could lose it to your competition, right?
I like what Veronica did there. She brought the experience to the experience.
Yes.
At the porn site. I get it. I like it.
There you go.
Right, yeah. You just,
Well, you
you
know,
just don't know.
Speaking of the experience, people are going to want to experience more of the two of you. And we are actually winding down in our time already. So, Reggie, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about how people can contact you, connect with you, and how they can see what you're doing online.
Perfect. So simple and easy. Just connect with me on LinkedIn, Reggie Waterman. I'm also on Instagram as well. So reggie.waterman. And that's it. Simple as that.
Wow, that's really simple. All right. And then your shows are broadcast on LinkedIn, right?
Correct. So
Okay.
they broadcast to LinkedIn as well as Twitch.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So they can find you on LinkedIn as well. Veronica, how do they get in touch with you, the Shopify queen?
They'll find you on a boat somewhere.
Easy on the boat somewhere, right? So easy. VeronicaJeans.com. I'm Veronica Jeans, the Shopify queen, everywhere on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. Twitter is sort of not going too well, but I'm trying to get more prolific on Twitter. I'm always on Facebook. I've got several pages on Facebook. And again, my name is also very easy. It's veronica.jeans@gmail.com. I've stuck to it and I'm not changing. I have all the business emails and they all come to the same thing, right?
Veronica, I hope you're selling jeans.
I wish, right? I wish. So have you ever researched your name, right? Online, just in Google.
Smith.
Research.
Yeah, there's Smith's.
So mine comes up with all the bloody jeans. I mean, really? And then Veronica Lee jeans. Yeah, right. I wish.
Hey, and I have a friend, Zach Jeans, and he's up in Washington State. And,
wow.
I'm thinking somewhere,
Somewhere,
right?
right? Yeah, because my husband is originally from Scotland. And then we met in Namibia when he was living in South Africa. They immigrated to South Africa. And we met in Namibia on a uranium mine where we both were working. So
yeah, very, very interesting. We could get into all of that. We could do a whole other show, Veronica.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
So, Reggie, this has been kind of like a mini book club today because we got Veronica with her book, Scott with his 2 books, me with my book, by the way, just coming out soon with a companion workbook to Befuddled. And
I've got one.
Yay. All right, Veronica, thank you. And so you're awesome. So there you go. So we have a mini book club today. We can explore that later. But thank you. Thank you both so much. You're so awesome. We'll make sure and put those connection links in the show notes. And thanks so much for coming on. Hang tight here real quick because I'm going to send you both out after we say goodbye, and then we'll chat in a minute. But thank you. Have an awesome sunny day.
You too.
We'll see
Bye.
you guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right.
Whew. Well, you got to be the bad guy every week and tell us we've run out of time, but we haven't run out of knowledge yet.
No.
There was still so much more to get from both of our guests, Veronica and Reggie, today. So,
what's great,
a fun time.
Yeah, and what's so great is that people can connect with them one-on-one and learn so much more. And I encourage you, Reggie and Veronica are both on LinkedIn, very active. They both have their websites and information they gave out that we'll put links to. Please connect with them, and you can learn so much more.
And my recommendation to everybody: cancel your Netflix subscription, and you could binge just Reggie's programs.
There you go. You're good.
and be much better for it because he's got some great stuff going on out there. Forget trying to watch The Office. Come on, you've seen it before anyway. Watch something that's going to make your life better.
That's right. Who wouldn't want to cook and have a DJ playing music and have all kinds of things going on? I mean, it's so much fun. Hey, I want to give a shout out to the infamous Facebook user. Thank you for the good words on the show today.
There we go.
All right. Hey, with that, we are going to make our way out and appreciate all of you until we see you next Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for another experience live with Russ and Scott. Have an awesome day and an awesome life. See you later.
Enjoy the experience. Cheers.